Building on Broadband: How do personal targeted stories translate into sales? That's what we'll be talking about on this episode of the Story Connect podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Megan McCoy, one of the storytellers at Pioneer Utility Resources. Right now, utilities across the nation have received grants for broadband projects over the last few years, but what comes after you have built out your system? We're asking utility pioneers across the nation for tips on how to increase subscriptions, build loyalty, maybe even add some AI tools to the mix to help you get it all done. And so talk about that today with us, I am joined by Erin McKnight, a copywriter and media specialist for OEC Fiber in Oklahoma. Erin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
It's always exciting to learn from you. But to get us started, tell me a little bit about OEC Fiber. Where are you? How many folks are connected? And what percentage of your service area is built out? I think you're almost or right at 100%, right?
Yes, we are 100% built out, but we're continuing to grow. Um, it's a little weird. We started with an electric co-op, and then we had members come to us and say, we don't have access to internet. Our office is in Norman. It's the third largest city in the state, and the University of Oklahoma is there. There were people in the city limits that could not get internet.
Was that possible? This makes no sense,
Right?
Erin.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they're coming to us going, we need internet. And so from that request from members, OEC Fiber was born. We started doing fiber to the home. And everyone who has our electric service can get fiber now, but we're continuing to grow into other areas where we don't have electric service. The demand is that high.
So I'm hearing that you're overachievers. I love that about your team. Yes.
That's definitely one way to put it. Yes.
Well, and how many folks have you connected right now?
We have a little over 38,000
Wow.
connected right now.
Okay.
We're doing about 100 installs a week, so we're on track to hit 40,000 by the end of summer.
Yay. You're going to have a
Yes.
pool
It,
party or something.
well, we're going to be hitting a big milestone on the electric side as well, so there are plans for a big combined party at this point, but they're all
Ooh.
very hush hush. Nothing is finalized,
Oh,
so I
come
can't.
on. I won't tell
I will say
anyone.
food trucks are involved, which is
Food.
always a hit with our crew. You say food trucks, and they are there.
I can see that. That is very exciting. I can't wait to hear about this hush hush, very exciting food truck bonanza that might or might not be happening in Oklahoma at the end of the summer. Very cool. So you've had a lot of success. 38,000 folks connected to broadband is huge when you look at the number of connections that folks have done across the country and other builds. So that's like cheers for reaching that. I'm
Thank you.
curious, what kind of a take rate do you have? And are you building that into your marketing goals?
Yes, we are building that into our goals. We currently have it's between 42 and 43% take rate. I can't remember the exact decimal on that
That's
right now. It seems
okay.
like it
I will
changes every
take your
time I look
word
at it.
on it.
But we do have a goal of reaching 45% by
Okay.
the end of the year on the marketing side. So we're slowly creeping that up there.
Yeah. And what kind of churn are y'all seeing with folks leaving, coming back over the last year? And has that impacted your storytelling, your marketing tactics?
Over the last year, the churn has hovered right around 1%.
Oh, that's not bad.
Um, Now, we are in some of our territory is a university town, so you're going to have lots of students moving in and out, so it makes that number a little bit harder to really calculate for us because of that. It's a very unique situation.
Sure.
But as far as storytelling for that to try and help prevent that, we're doing lots of added value and education for our members and
Ooh,
subscribers.
tell me
So
more.
let's teach you how to upgrade your computers so that way the old computer that you've got from the 90s that's still running on Windows 95 can
Oh,
actually function because it's not going to utilize that gig speed that you just signed up for. And I see you laughing, but we have had people call with that
I
issue.
just the memories of old tech and
Yes,
email
the
with.
sound that is forever ingrained in our brain when
I
we turn
know.
it on. Things like that,
Yeah.
how to create a more secure password, and then going to businesses, how they can, protect their customers and their information. So doing lots of education and added value has been huge for us as far as retention.
Okay.
Our big focus is service excellence, whether that be customer service, IT, whatever it is, our goal is to lead in service, regardless of the area it's in.
So you mentioned Windows 95, great year, and some of the work that you're doing, helping businesses, commercial accounts, make sure
Mhm,
that they have secure networks there.
mhm,
But you also serve a lot of college students, right?
mhm.
So do
Yes.
you have, I'm assuming they don't run Windows 95.
No,
If
no, I
if they
haven't run
do,
across anyone that does. If they are, I really want to know how that happened.
right? But they have different needs, right? As
Yes.
college students. So, what kind of outreach are you doing to those subscribers?
For education outreach there, we talk a lot about reliability and then also, the co-op story, because a lot of them have no idea
Oh,
what
yeah.
a co-op is. I know when I was in college, going to show my age a little bit here, the web portal upload of papers was in its infancy,
Mhm.
and I was working in a school computer lab uploading a paper, and suddenly the internet went down
No.
and lost an entire 15-page paper that was due the next morning.
And the trauma has stayed with you till this
Yes,
day.
yes, it
Yes.
has. So
Uh,
I never want anyone else to have that panic.
yep.
So we talk about you don't have to worry about not being able to turn in an assignment because your connection's lost. And then, educating them on the history of the co-op. We're here because you asked for it. It is a service that is needed.
I'm going to ask you something that will might make you sad, Erin. So
Okay.
please know that I love you. But do they care?
Some of them do. It's actually
Ooh.
been really surprising. We get, I'd say, probably a 40-60 split on that when
Okay.
we start talking about the history. We don't spend as much time when we're focusing on younger demographics like college
Yep.
students on that, but we do throw in little bits of it and link to larger stories and see that quite a few of them actually do go and explore that. They don't know that, it started because a bunch of farmers, I believe it was a group of 5 farmers in this area, got together to form what has become Oklahoma Electric Cooperative, and now we have OEC Fiber because of that. It is a service that people need. In this day and age, you have to have Wi Fi. If you don't have Wi Fi, you can't do the vast majority of things in life.
Oh, I just thought of a fun tagline.
Okay.
Got Wi-Fi? Thank a farmer.
Okay, I'm
Because that's
stealing that, just so you know. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Where is a piece of paper?
But I mean
Got
that's
Wi Fi.
interesting to try to make that connection for college students. You know, we've heard that people don't care about the history as much, but then I was talking to a co-op educator, Kathy Statz, a couple weeks ago, and she said young people love co-ops. They just don't know it yet. But there are a lot of things that sync up with what we believe and the general feeling that a lot of folks have right now. That ability to have a role, to have a voice, that it is locally owned. There are a lot of things that sing true with younger college students and members right now. So I like that y'all are weaving that in. I was not expecting that, but I love that. So now, Erin, you are a writer,
Yes.
which means that it is your job to find stories. So
Mhm.
you talked about sharing the co op story, but I'm wondering what other kinds of stories set your co op, OEC Fiber, apart from the competition? And I know that's a little bit of a loaded question, but do you tout service? Do you tout speed? Local teams? Do you have testimonials that you highlight? Where are the stories at? What works?
There's a lot of ways that we go about getting stories. We talk about service all the time. We've
Okay.
actually just yesterday found out that 405 Magazine, we got voted best ISP provider for the third year in a row in our
Look
area.
at you. I thought there was
And
some extra shine.
yes,
That
there's all sorts and some other awards that have come in recently because of not only the internet service that we offer, the reliability that fiber has, but just the service in general.
okay.
Customer service is ingrained into everything we do, from people who are out in the field to who you talk to on the phone to people like me that you probably wouldn't know from Adam, but you see me in the shirt in the supermarket and you're going to stop me and ask me 5,000 questions.
I
We,
love that you're acting like this hasn't happened to you before.
oh, no,
This,
never. No, I don't get asked every time I go to church. What are you talking about?
mm, mm,
But no, it's focusing on that customer service
yeah.
and the fact that we are local. There are a lot of providers in the area where there is not an office you can walk into and talk to someone face to face. We still have that.
So, and I hear people say that all the time. Well, we're local. We say that we're local, but how does that translate into your storytelling? Like, what imagery do you use? What kinds of stories are you telling that underscore the fact that you're local?
We actually have done what's called a subscriber stories series, and we continue to do stuff periodically where we go talk to both businesses and individuals who have our service, and they talk to us about the changes it has made. This is what stuff was like before. This is what it is now. This is how it has impacted my life or my business for the better. And we've even talked to, some nonprofits and done videos so they can cross promote. And then every November, we do a small business Saturday and a Giving Tuesday series. We reach out to businesses and nonprofits that we serve, asking them if they would like to be a part of this little feature. And we'll put together like a little blog and a mini marketing campaign that can redirect people to this as like an added value for them and just pointing back to we are in the communities that we serve. And this is
I
how much we
love
care.
that.
We're going to show you how wonderful our communities are because we're that proud of where we are.
So, like for Giving Tuesday, you're highlighting places that folks can give in your community.
Yeah. For example, there's one that we did a whole story on last year and then featured in Giving Tuesday called Sun Hive Collective, which is for individuals with special needs, either physical or mental disabilities that have aged out of school. And a lot of times, once they're out of school, all those added supports disappear.
Yeah.
But this is a place where they can go and continue to have those supports, continue to connect with people on a day to day basis. We actually, for their very first year, we donated a year of service to them to help them get off the ground because there was such a need in the
Yeah.
community. And so we, did a whole story on them and highlighted them for Giving Tuesday as well and said, hey, here's just one place that
Yeah.
you can go and give back if you feel so led to do so.
I love that. So you're making these mini campaigns. You're sharing it on your social, I assume. Where else are you sharing these stories?
They will be in social, they're on our blogs. We'll occasionally have videos that go up on YouTube. We've done little mailers to go with the campaigns with QR codes that link to the stories. It's appeared in the co op newsletter. We blast it pretty much everywhere we can.
So you would have a mailer that you design and make for one of your community partners, and they can help like work with you on where it gets mailed, or you guys do that.
We actually did a broad mailer. So
Okay.
we talk to multiple institutions, basically anyone that we reach out to that would be a good fit. You do have to vet some places a little bit. Unfortunately, that
Not
is
everybody vegan. It's
the
fine.
nature of the beast. And then anyone who responds back and gets us, the little bit of information that we need, we include them in a write up. It may just be a short paragraph about each one. And then we have a mailer for all of them that
Oh, I
links
like that.
back to it.
I like that. I would love to see an example of that and share that because I think it's a really nice way to build those the ties in the community, build love as it is for you.
Pardon.
So, um, how else do you get testimonials? You mentioned subscriber stories, which I think is super, super cool. Because I like alliteration. That was an email that was going out, or you do too, an email, or was it social posts, podcasts? Like, how was it getting out there?
As far as how we got the subscriber stories,
How did you share them?
how did we share them?
Mm-hmm.
We did social campaigns that linked to either a co-op news story, which is the magazine
Mm-hmm.
newsletter that goes out, or to a story on our blog. Pardon.
No.
And then sometimes if they were willing to be on camera, we would do like a little video interview with them and put that up on our YouTube channel and share that across socials, because video is huge. That's going to get a
Yes.
lot more view for them if they're willing to, but not everyone's comfortable with that, and that's okay.
So, how you mentioned finding these stories, where do you find them? Are you asking people for reviews on a regular basis? Are you getting them from like Google reviews, Facebook reviews, or out in the community talking to people? Where are these stories coming from?
They come from a variety of places. When we first launched the subscriber story idea, we did do a plug for it. We put out a social campaign going, hey, do you want to share your story? If you're selected, you can get like I think it was a $25 bill credit,
Woohoo!
something like that, just to start getting people in.
Yeah.
It was a very new concept. We weren't sure how well that was going to fly, but we got a ton of submissions of people wanting to talk about the difference that having that connectivity has made for them. And then, being out in the community at
Yeah.
various events, we're very involved in the chamber for all the communities we're in, and people just coming up and talking to us, just telling us stories. And then, someone coming back to me if I wasn't there going, Erin, I've got someone you need to talk to.
Those are the best
And
most of the
yes,
time.
and reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Like, people are so excited to have the opportunity to connect and enhance their quality of life.
Well, but is that true still today? I know that when folks first got broadband access, they were like over the moon excited. The big question everybody got was, when is it going to be here? When can I get it? When can I get it? They've got it now. How do you keep that excitement, sustain that now that they've got it and they've had it for a year or two?
It goes back to that service that we talked about. We're going to reach out to you and make sure that everything goes okay. I mean, we've got tons of analytics on our side as far as how the network is performing.
Sure.
And our subscriber support team, when there's alerts that, someone may be running a little bit slow or something looks like it's not functioning at the highest level, whenever they don't have an inbound call, they're calling that individual and
No.
saying, hey, I want to make sure everything's going okay
I
with your
love
service. Is
that.
there anything that you need help with? And just those little touch points like that,
Yeah.
that's enough. That's reignites that spark. People are so amazed that we reach out to them proactively because we think there may be an issue.
Yeah, no kidding. That's huge. And I
Hmm.
haven't heard of other folks doing that. So I love that y'all are not just monitoring how everything is working, but flagging problems, potential problems, and then reaching out proactively. That's wonderful. Do y'all have any referral programs built into your marketing strategy too? Just for folks telling friends to sign up?
No, we haven't had to do any referrals or promos or bundles or anything like that at this point.
Okay.
Um, because, like I said, it's that service and reliability. The power of connection, we lean hard into that. We'll do everything we can to make the service the best it can be.
Yeah.
There may come a time that at some point, just because of the saturation in the market, we have to do some little promos or something like that. But, we want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible with everything that we do.
Yeah.
Because if you can trust who you're getting the service from and not, get those surprise bills in the mail and have to call every 6 months to a year just to try and get your bill back to where it was, that's going to build that loyalty. It's going to build that trust because you know that you're being taken care of.
Yeah. No, I love that. Now, personalization is king when it comes to marketing. And you were already
Mhm.
mentioning some of the education that y'all have done, really targeting where people are at different stages of their lives, to make sure that they know how to use technology, which is great. But how else is OEC Fiber using targeted storytelling to attract and then convert subscribers in the zones that you serve?
We use a lot of demographic data based on zip codes.
Okay.
There's so much data out there. So we will go and look at what's the demographic in that area as far as age, tech usage, number of devices that tend to be connected per home, kids enrolled in school in that area, and figure out, okay, so this is the main demographic in this area we want to target. How are we going to tell this story to them?
Yeah.
If it's an older neighborhood, for example, if we're going into a neighborhood, it's all 65 plus, kids are gone, talking about being able to have the kids play video games without, freezing and buffering and getting phoned by the noob that just hopped on because your connection went south is not going to work.
Nope.
At that point, we can focus on value because they're starting to look at things very differently.
Yeah.
Here's the value of the service you're getting, and the fact that you can choose your package and change it whenever you want to. If you find that this doesn't work for you, we'll help you find one that does.
I like that. And then you and I were talking offline a bit about the different stages that you've been in each zone that you've been approaching, and that you have some storytelling built around that, not the specific personas that you're serving, but the stage of, if you're just launching in an area or if you've been there for a while. Can you talk about, I think you said there are 3 tiers that you use for storytelling?
Yes, we have 3 main tiers in our campaign strategy, and then we have additional ones that we throw in as need arises.
Sure.
We are going to do a general blast campaign to all zones that has a very basic messaging, and that kind of covers our base. That makes sure that when we're going into those new zones, people know who we are,
Yeah.
but then it's also reminding some of those people who've been there for a while, hey, we're still here. Then we have, what we call our zone targeted campaigns. And that's where we look at, okay, here's a zone that has low ROI and looks like we could really use some extra help there,
Sure.
boosting that ROI. There's still a lot of people that haven't signed up. Let's figure out who they are and send messaging just to them.
I like it.
So there'll be a mailer campaign that goes just to those zones each month. And it changes every month which zone we're going to.
Yeah, just
And then
targeting where
we,
you've got a low take rate and more potential there. I like that a
yes.
lot. Okay. And then what is the third? I'm excited.
And the third one deals a lot more with retention, focusing on, that churn rate. That's
Mm-hmm.
the providing additional value. That's where those education pieces come in. That's where we're teaching you about things that are coming up. We're going to explain the difference between an outage and scheduled maintenance. So you know what on earth that email we're sending you, letting you know that you're not going to have service between midnight and 3 a.m. tomorrow means.
Yeah.
So that way you're better educated and you have a better understanding of everything that's going on.
Okay. So that's a great example. So furthering the education component, focusing on value, third. So I like that. That's 3 main tiers of storytelling that y'all have developed. Um, I love the way that y'all showcase and other folks showcase stories at events. So, do you have like big sign up events in the community, or maybe gaming or speed events if they aren't in the older set and do have children at home, where folks can see how different upgrades can make life better?
We haven't done anything where we're taking like our gear out there and showing people. It's more, hey, we're going to come be a part of the community. There's a big 4th of July event. We're going to come out, with swag and giveaways. Here's glow sticks for the kids. Hats, you have to have hats and pins or they're going to run you out of town.
Always.
But we're also there just to talk to you and answer questions. We'll have an iPad or something there where we can look at things and help troubleshoot. Or if someone wants to get signed up and they're, afraid to talk on the phone, to somebody, but they're struggling with the online sign up. Okay, let me help you. We'll walk through it together. So it's more that when it comes to signing up events out in the community. We haven't done a specific, okay, come sign up for service and we're going to grill a bunch of hot dogs. It's, no, we're here just to be a part of the community, but we'll help you with the other stuff too.
Gotcha. And how are y'all adding broadband labels to the mix? Have you guys talked about this yet? It's very exciting.
It is exciting and terrifying all at the same time. Luckily, our partner NISC is taking care of a lot of that for us. They're doing a lot of it on the back end. So we aren't having to spend as much time focusing on making sure we meet all the regulatory standards there. We can focus on telling that story. And I am starting to percolate ideas of how can we actually use this in a campaign? What's a way that we can make this boring chunk of information fun?
Do you want to hear what I was talking to someone about yesterday?
I would love to hear it.
Having boxes of fiber cereal that you're giving away at a community event, and then you have the broadband label on the side, and just say,
that's actually around where I was going with it. I picture someone, on a mailer looking at a box that has our logo on the side and just staring at the nutrition label and then having it, expanded out and it's the broadband label. Yep. So yeah, stuff like that. It's just gonna be fun. Make it fun.
Make it fun. You got to make it fun.
Exactly.
So one last question before I let you go. And this comes from other conversations you and I have had about AI, because I know you're a fan. I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. We are responsible fans, I should say.
Yes.
How are you and your team using AI, artificial intelligence, to help create content or personalized experiences for your target audiences?
I use it a lot to help refine things and generate additional ideas. You cannot trust AI to write everything for you. I don't care which version of it you use. It will lie to you.
And it will smile while doing it.
Yes, yeah. It will smile. You'll see all the little smiley emojis and the little glittering hearts as it lies to your face. But it's just another tool in the toolbox. Got afraid of Grammarly when it came out to help, with all of your editing. But yet now you have stuff like ChatGPT and Claude and all of these other programs that are, generating things for you, and people are scared. Yeah. There's no need to be scared. It helps you refine those things. I love taking something and going, you know what? I've got the message here, but I know it's not hitting the audience I want it to, and I am stuck. I have spent the last 3 hours looking at 2 sentences and I am out of ideas. You're laughing because I think you've
all
done
been there. Yep. No, we have all been there. We've all hit that wall, and you're just spinning your wheels and wasting time, and you just can't see it.
And that's where, AI comes in. I'm like, okay, will you please give me this many versions of this text geared towards this audience? And it's going to go on an email or go on social media. And most of the time, I'm not going to use exactly what they give me, but it's going to give me just enough to find what I need. And that's where AI comes in, is we're going to use that as a refining tool, because we are limited by our own knowledge and experiences, but that can help throw a slightly different lens on it for us.
I love that. Well, Erin, thank you so much for sharing your story with Utility Pioneers. She is Erin McKnight at OEC Fiber, and I'm your host, Megan McCoyno at Pioneer Utility Resources. And until we talk again, keep telling your story.
Story Connect is produced by Pioneer Utility Resources, a communications cooperative that is built to share your story. Story Connect is engineered by Lucas Smith of Lucky Sound Studio.